And this is the most spectacular New Year's Eve celebration Cleveland has ever hosted. I'm Donna Davis. I'll have a report from Public Square.
And I'm Wilma Smith reporting to you live from the Renaissance Cleveland Hotel, where we're bringing in the new Millennium with some gala festivities coming up.
And are you worried about the new Millennium? We're on Y2K Watch. Has the Millennium bug bitten yet? Fox 8 News at 10 starts now. We're getting excited.
Nice.
Good evening and Happy New Year, everybody. We are counting down with the world. It's Countdown 2000.
Of course, spectacular shows around the world. Just look at the Eiffel Tower in Paris. They're absolutely stunning as we help usher in the new millennium. Most of the world, of course, already celebrated. Now it's our turn.
Big parties all around town. Two of the biggest at the Renaissance Hotel and Public Square. That's where we find Donna Davis at Public Square.
Hi, Wilma. We'll get to you in just a minute at the Renaissance, but let's kick off with Donna, who is with about 100,000 of her closest friends, right, Donna?
That's right, and you know, that was just my very closest friend.
And thousands of people are packing the Rubber City for New Year's festivities. It's an escape for families who want to party, but they don't want to worry since the events there are alcohol-free.
Of course, most of the world has already ushered in the new millennium with spectacular celebrations.
In Australia, fireworks lit up the Sydney sky. Take a look at that as folks down under were among the first to count down to 2000. It was a beautiful sight over famous Sydney over the Opera House.
Taking to Moscow now, New Year's revelers jammed Red Square to ring in the new millennium. Fireworks raced through the sky and were shot from the crowd as well. The new year brings in a new president. We'll have more on Boris Yeltsin's resignation later on in the show as well.
And in the city where Christ was born, 2,000 doves of peace were released over Manger Square as the midnight hour struck. Palestinians and Israelis both ushered in the new year in Bethlehem together.
Just dazzling. The year 2000 was brought in 5 hours ago in London with the chimes you're hearing there of Big Ben and a spectacular fireworks show there as well, up and down the Thames River. Now, Fox News reporter Allison Camerata brings us the very latest from Party Central, and of course that is Times Square. Allison?
Times Square is now filled to capacity. That means there are about 675,000 people on the ground and just as many up above looking out hotel and office windows, all waiting for that magical moment of midnight. The celebration started at dawn, with 2 million people gradually descending upon Times Square. The entertainment started early. Every hour, as the clock struck midnight somewhere in the world, performers brought the culture of that foreign land to Times Square. And surrounding all the celebration, the most stringent security ever. 8,000 police officers patrolling, making random searches of bags, and on high alert for anything or anyone suspicious. So at exactly 1 minute before midnight, that new $1 million Waterford crystal ball will begin its 77-foot descent down the flagpole. And when it lands, it will be the year 2000 here, and hundreds of fireworks will go off, and 4 tons of confetti will rain down on this record-breaking crowd of 2 million people. In Times Square, Allison Camerata, Fox 8 News.
Thank you, Allison. Of course, we're going to head back to Times Square for a live report just a little bit later on in the show. Stacey?
Bill, our coverage of Countdown 2000 is far from over tonight. We want to remind you that our special coverage tomorrow morning starts at 10. We'll wrap up the big event and keep track of any Y2K problems that may or may not pop up.
It is breathtaking looking around the world at what's been going on. Just incredible, safe, and fun celebrations.
I'm going to cry before the night is over.
Well, we'll let you do that. It's a good time to do it. And speaking of Y2K problems, we haven't had any yet. The turn of the millennium has some folks worried right here in Northeast Ohio as we head to the witching hour. Find out why some say those powerful concerns are truly nothing to worry about, though.
A change in power in Russia. How will Boris Yeltsin's resignation impact the new millennium?
And so many questions about the latest on the condition of former Beatle George Harrison stabbed in his own home. We'll have that for you when we come back.
Enter a desperate world.
All
I can think about is how hard he twists my nipple.
Where life is cheap. Survival is a luxury.
There's meningitis, there are car accidents.
And the most terrifying adventure of all is surviving your family.
Drink your milk.
It's lumpy.
Then chew it.
From the network that brought you The Simpsons
Dude.
comes a comedy that proves there's no such thing as a normal family. Malcolm in the Middle, coming to Fox this January.
Stop playing with yourself.
Worried about Y2K? Get a new Buick. Why? Let's say the city goes dark. Buick's headlights come on automatically. So get cozy in your comfy power seat with your portable TV and watch the test pattern. During Buick's Not to Worry event, get a Century 2000 Special Edition with a Millennium offer worth $2,000, or at least one for as low as $249 a month for 36 months. Residency restrictions apply. Call for important lease details. No heat? Dual climate control.
Give me that encore! Where's Al?
Clarence the Crusher, good to see you.
This encore lasagna is just too much good food!
Go to it, Crusher!
All that lasagna and rich, meaty sauce.
I can't eat it all!
But Crusher, Encore's a 2-pound family-size entree.
Crusher don't have a family.
I do. We'll see you at 6 tonight.
Al, about these Encore Salisbury steaks.
5 tomorrow.
We're tasting more, it's encore.
It was the holidays in Cellular Town, and all was not well.
What happened here?
It's the cellular, sir. The long distance bill. Sign a contract.
Here, the Sprint PCS free and clear plan gives you crystal clear calls for as little as a dime anytime.
Hey, Sprint PCS!
From anywhere in their nationwide network.
Hey, everybody!
300 anytime minutes for only $30, including free long distance.
Look at that cutie. They say timing is everything. Meet the Millennium baby. This little guy was born at 12:01 New Zealand time. In all, 6 babies were born in the first 20 minutes of the new year.
Let everybody know, too, that was the second baby born. The first people didn't want to have their pictures shown.
Oh, really?
So she was the first one that wanted her pictures shown.
Wow.
She gets the credit for all that.
Throughout the 1900s, Ford has made automotive history countless times. As we move to the next century, we're doing it again. Presenting 20th Century Celebration from your local Ford store. From a special allocation, lease this F-150 Super Cab 4x2 XLT with a V8. Now $279 a month for 24 months. Plus, get air and anti-lock brakes at no extra charge. Deals this good come around once a century. So visit your local Ford store today. When Century Celebration ends, it's history.
Good evening, sir. Your finest table? Reservation. Perhaps you'll find it under Washington. George Washington? Sir, that's only $1. Only $1. Don't you know that with 10, 10, 220, all calls up to 20 minutes are only 99 cents, and just 7 cents a minute after that. Plus, there's no monthly fee.
Great rates and no monthly fee?
All day, every day. Oh.
Walk this way.
Dial 1010-220.
Come, let us adore.
Welcome back, everybody, as we count down to the new millennium, and Bishop Anthony Pilla here in Cleveland helping usher in the new millennium with a special New Year's Eve Mass at St. John Cathedral. People there. Northeast Ohio Fireworks Company is ordered to stop selling banned fireworks and destroy its inventory now. Midwest Fireworks may have been open for business today, but their shelves were not as full. The company was forced to pull all fireworks designated in the Hazardous Substances Act from its shelves. New Year's partiers, though, didn't seem to notice.
I'm kind of torn how I feel about that. Obviously, I think that anything that could be really dangerous, like the big, huge things that should be used by professionals, probably aren't a good idea. I really don't think anything like this is going to cause a problem.
And the owner says he'll fight the federal action and calls this more harassment from the government.
A devastating accident changed the life of an Ashtabula man forever. Well, today he looks forward to the new year and a new hymn. Fox 8 News reporter Lydia Aspara has this inspiring story. Court, find out who and why coming up.
First, from Cleveland to Times Square, we have the Millennium covered for you. Countdown 2000 continues. When we come right back.
Closed captioning is brought to you by your local Chrysler and Plymouth dealer.
Tonight, Fox presents a Millennium broadcast that will change the face of television.
4, 3, 2, 1.
On the front line.
We're just minutes away.
In the streets. Live from London. And around the world with live performances.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
The Neville Brothers and more. Bring in the Millennium Fox style with Fox 2000 Live tonight at 11 on Fox.
The driver and the bodyguard. The rap mogul has denied any involvement in that incident.
Coming out being quite forceful about not being involved in any of that.
Very upset about it.
All right.
Well, this is our report on Fox 8 News at 10. Have a wonderful new year, everybody. Fox is going to help you ring in the new year with Fox 2000. That's next.
And I'll be here as well. We'll take you till about 12:30 or so, making sure you're all safe and sound. But as we leave you here now on the 10 o'clock news, the last one in this millennium, let's look back at the sights and sounds of entering in the new year. Let's start in London.
Yes.
Fox. Fox 8 News. The holidays are ending, so relax.
Yep, bye-bye belt.
And kick back with King of the Hill and a special full hour of The Simpsons.
He's gotten into the pep closet. I'd say he's coming out of the pep closet.
Followed by The X-Files. The first Fox Sunday of the Millennium starts at 7:30, 6:30 Central.
Oh my God.
At the dawn of this new millennium, everything is up to 1/2 off, with nothing to pay for 18 months. New Year's Day at Kronheim's Furniture.
Happy New Year from all of us at Levin Furniture. We're inviting you to the biggest New Year's sale in town. This Saturday and Sunday, get great New Year's sale prices on everything for your home. Then pay absolutely nothing for 18 months. It's our longest deferred billing offer ever at Levin Furniture. We're open New Year's Day till 7 and Sunday till 6. No payments and interest for 18 months. This weekend at Levin's.
Hey,
this is for those ready to hit the road.
Hit the road. This is for a tough world.
This is for those looking for a solid experience.
This is excitement. Well built.
This is for right now. Right now.
Hit the road for Pontiac driving excitement and lease a Grand Am SE for as low as $209 a month for 36 months. Call for important lease details. This is for me.
For me. For me.
Hit the road for Pontiac driving excitement. This is for me.
From my family to yours, have a blessed and prosperous new millennium.
The countdown is on. The new millennium is here in Sydney, Tokyo, Beijing, Moscow, Cairo, Paris, Rome, London. And now, it's our turn. This is Fox 2000 with the Red Hot Chili Peppers, the Neville Brothers, updates from around the globe with the people of Fox News, and New Year's surprises that you won't see anywhere else. Now, live from the Renaissance Hotel at world-famous number 2 Times Square, Britt Hume and Paula Zahn.
Good grief. I don't know how to follow that.
Yeah, we need a little caffeine, I think, to keep up with that man.
Well, we'll try. Good evening, and welcome to what can only be called the biggest party of the century.
Well, those of us who live in New York would like to think of it that way. We don't know that for sure, but this certainly is the last part of the century, or party of the century, Britt. And it's kind of hard to count right now, but the New York City Convention and Visitors Bureau tells us there are some 2 million people in and around the Times Square area. And oh, by the way, we had to lure this Washingtonian up north with these balmy temperatures. It's 34 degrees. Actually, it's warmer than many of the New Year's Eves I remember spending here.
And all those people have a little less than an hour to party like it's 1999, and then the ball. The famous ball, the one you see there, will drop, ushering in the year 2000.
And Brett, the city has left nothing to chance here. They have a very sophisticated system where an atomic clock will send some sort of signal to a satellite to cause the ball to be released. And guess what? If that doesn't work, we go back to the old way we would have used at the turn of the century. We're going to hand crank that 1,000-pound ball down that flagpole.
It is too early yet to say that all is well with the turn of the year, but so far the FAA says that not a plane was affected. 7 p.m. the air traffic system, which uses Greenwich Meridian time, passed midnight there, and planes remained in the air, and the word came to Washington that all is well. So far, all of the briefings in Washington have told us that everything is green, which means that all computer systems are so far working that matter. The Pentagon is pleased, and it looks like this Y2K turn may turn out to have none of the trouble that anyone predicted. We've got a while to go yet, but that's the way it looks so far.
Yeah, it's giving people a big sense of relief here. What is it like to be down there in that sea of people? Well, let's go down to our man, Brett Baer, who's right in the middle of those throngs. Brett, how are you?
This place is electric. The latest estimates, 1 million.
We await with interest to see whether the president, who over the years has some history of not quite being on time.
You're being quite gentle, Brett.
Will hit his schedule tonight, and there's been some concern about that all day long. But I have a hunch that he will. His Hollywood friends are putting on this show, and they are thought to have some influence over it.
Now, you said as you flew out of Washington, you noticed the massive structures. Oh,
here he comes.
Here's the president right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we celebrate the change of centuries. The dawning of a new millennium are now just minutes away. We celebrate the past. We have honored America's remarkable achievements, struggles, and triumphs in the 20th century. We celebrate the future, imagining an even more remarkable 21st century. As we marvel at the changes of the last 100 years, we dream of what changes the next 100 and the next 1,000 will bring. And as powerful as our memories are, our dreams must be even stronger. For when our memories outweigh our dreams, we become old. And it is the eternal destiny of America to remain forever young, always reaching beyond, always becoming, as our founders pledged, a more perfect union. So we Americans must not fear change. Instead, let us welcome it, embrace it, and create it. The great story of the 20th century is and created. The great story of the 20th century is the triumph of freedom and free people. A story told in the drama of new immigrants, the struggles for equal rights, the victories over totalitarianism, the stunning advances in economic well-being, in culture, in health, in space, in telecommunications, and in building a world in which more than half the people live under governments of their own choosing for the first time in all history. We must never forget the meaning of the 20th century, or the gifts of those who worked and marched, who fought and died for the triumph of freedom. So as we ring in this new year, in a new century, in a new millennium, we must, now and always, echo Dr. King in the words of the old American hymn, "Let Freedom Ring." If the story of the 20th century is the triumph of freedom, what will the story of the 21st century be? Let it be the triumph of freedom wisely used, to bring peace to a world in which we honor our differences and even more, our common humanity. Such a triumph will require great efforts from us all. It will require us to stand against the forces of hatred and bigotry, terror and destruction. It will require us to continue to prosper, to alleviate poverty, to better balance the demands of work and family, and to serve each of us in our communities. It will require us to take better care of our environment. It will require us to make further breakthroughs in science and technology, to cure dread diseases, heal broken bodies, lengthen life, and unlock secrets from global warming to the black holes in the universe. And, perhaps most important, it will require us to share with our fellow Americans and increasingly with our fellow citizens of the world the economic benefits of globalization, the political benefits of democracy and human rights, the educational and health benefits of all things modern, from the internet to the genetic encyclopedia to the mysteries beyond our solar system. Now, we may not be able to eliminate all hateful intolerance, but we can develop a healthy intolerance of bigotry, oppression, and abject poverty. We may not be able to eliminate all the harsh consequences of globalization, but we can communicate more and travel more and trade more in a way that lifts the lives of ordinary working families everywhere and the quality of our global environment. We may not be able to eliminate all the failures of government and international institutions, but we can certainly strengthen democracy so all children are prepared for the 21st century world and protected from its harshest side effects. And we can do so much more to work together, to cooperate among ourselves, to seize the problems and the opportunities of this ever-small planet we all call home. In short, if we want the story of the 21st century to be the triumph of peace and harmony, we must embrace our common humanity and our shared destiny. Now, we're just moments from that new millennium. 2 centuries ago, as the framers were crafting our Constitution, Benjamin Franklin was often seen in Independence Hall, looking at a painting of the sun low on the horizon. When at long last the Constitution finally was signed, Mr. Franklin said, "I have often wondered whether that sun was rising or setting. Today I have the happiness to know it is a rising sun." Well, 2 centuries later, we know the sun will always rise on America as long as each new generation lights the fire of freedom. Our children are ready. So again, the torch is passed to a new century of young Americans.
All right, here we are, just 56 seconds away from that gorgeous Waterford crystal ball dropping in Times Square.
And Paula, remarks by the president expressing doubtless sentiments shared by millions of Americans, but perhaps his mood a bit out of phase, certainly with the one you see here in Times Square. We're down to almost 30 seconds as the countdown will begin and the ball will begin to drop.
Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Martin in the Fox 8 studios right now. We want to give you a look at not only what is happening in New York as the ball drops in very famous Times Square, but also what is happening here in Cleveland tonight as we count down the last 10 seconds or so to end the 1990s and this great decade of millennium as we head into a new millennium. 3, 2, 1, Happy New Year! Just a beautiful picture of what is going on. That's the mayor of New York, Rudy Giuliani, and on the right of your screen, downtown Cleveland, Public Square right now, where there's a huge fireworks display, a laser light show. The Isley Brothers have been performing, and it has been a smooth and memorable heading into the new millennium all the way across the world. It has been just uneventful, aside from just the gorgeous fireworks displays all across the globe. And that is something I think we can take as we head into the new year. Just an absolutely spectacular picture of Times Square in New York City. 2 million people jammed into Times Square, people having as much fun as they can in New York, as they always do on New Year's Eve in New York. And then again, Cleveland, and just a beautiful display of fireworks here in the Midwest. We'll let you watch as we quiet down for just a minute and enjoy the sights and sounds of 2000.
Wow, getting buried in a sea of confetti here. Happy New Year. Wow, what a show. We know how to put on a show here, don't we, in New York City?
People should know that all this confetti, the tons of it, is literally shot from guns. You could, as the fireworks went, so did those guns and fired this stuff into the air. And we're 26 stories above the street. As you can see, it's everywhere here. It is everywhere.
Now, since people don't quite have smell-o-vision yet, they don't understand, in addition to these little pieces of paper that are being shot out of the cannons, that is, there are also some sense, what are they calling them? Sense strips, sensoriums.
They're distributing paper squares larger than these pieces of confetti that contain what is being called a world olfactory sculpture by somebody. And the artist is said to have consulted with officials of 230 nations to identify a scent from tree, flower, grass, or herb that is significant to each land. And then apparently they gathered the oils and created this scent. And if you want to find out more about this, and I can't imagine why you would, you can check out a website called www.worldsensorium.com.
You don't seem to be fully appreciative of the 10-year effort it took this artist to create this scent.
Look at this. Look at this.
It is magnificent.